I'm going to start off by a little bit of self-pity. Bear with me. There's a reason to it. Um, I've been putting a lot of effort into what I do for years. Like, this isn't just like a short-term fad. I'm consistent. So I've shared my healing journey. I've tried to help inspire people. I share my vulnerabilities. I'm just always authentic. So if I'm having a bad day, I'll share that bad day. If I have a good day, and I share how I overcome. And I don't really get anywhere, to be totally honest. My views are ridiculous. I'm just stifled at every turn, and I don't like comparing to other people. But the consistency I've been doing for such a long time, I think I think it challenges the work ethic of some others who get far more. So some people just get everything given to them so easily, it's ridiculous. And then some people have to fight for their life, and you still don't get anywhere. And it's an immense frustration. But in the end, I continue to create because it's passion. It's something I feel called to do. And if anything, I am my own audience, then I'm fine with that. So, as frustrating as it gets, in the end, ultimately, it's like I enjoy what I do. I enjoy doing it and I enjoy watching it. So that's enough. Um, so really, the reason I share that isn't to self-indulge in any way. It was more to do with the fact that there's going to be other people in a similar boat. You're going to get demoralized. You're going to think about maybe potentially sometimes giving up and just say, like, I can't bother anymore. This is not worth it. And then something will click in your head, knowing this is your calling. And what it comes down to, and the way I perceive things is, when it's supposed to be my time, it will be my time. The body of work will be there, so it stands the test of time. But also through the creation process, get better at what we do. So from the experience, we gain wisdom. From that wisdom, we then become far more evolved. And that's what it is. So when the breakthrough comes, you're now this higher ranked really than you would have been if you got the breakthrough sooner. So sometimes it's like it's just not your time. It's just not your time. But I want to show how much it's not my time and how frustrating it really is. Because in all honesty, some of the videos I do, especially the books as well, but the videos too, um, I think are just incredible. Like in all honesty, I think they're incredible because I watch them back. I'm like, God damn, that'll change people's lives. But people have to be ready to hear it. And I just think, to be honest, I think I pour at people's insecurities, and I think it triggers them, and then they get defensive, and then they don't like me much for it. And that's what I think happens sometimes. Then there's a level of jealousy as well. Like some people want to put me in a box and keep me small, and then they get surprised by how intelligent I am, and it bothers them a lot. So it's like it is what it is. Now, a bit self-indulgy, I get it, but just. So the recent video I did, I thought was absolutely amazing. I thought it was like really amazing. Sometimes that happens. I'll go, that is goddamn, that's great. That's incredible. And I don't say that all the time. And it was one where I was really applauding myself, but that's not why I like it. I like it because it should provide the framework for others to do similar for themselves. And if they haven't done the healing or the journey that I've been on to the level, it's like they just know then that there's a process to go through to continue. That's what it was about. It's not like I'm watching it and go, oh, God, I'm amazing. It was the message I thought was amazing. That self-love, appreciation of self, the recognition of the growth, the journey. That's the part I loved about it all. And it's the first video I just literally changed some pins around. It's my pinned one on TikTok. It's really important that people recognize their own greatness. It's easy to put people. And in that video, I really do say how great I am, and it makes me laugh every time I watch it. It's like almost like the audacity. How dare he? And it's like I do dare. So yeah, there is that. But it's not just on TikTok, for instance. If I zoom in, you'll just see the views are ridiculous, like absolutely pathetic. And I'm going to get onto that in a minute about something else. So we're like 60, 35, got 58, 49, 81. And I mean, it takes time for that to grow. Normally it's 10. Then my YouTube, for instance, I work my ass off on all this. I literally work my ass off. Because if we was to go like videos, for instance, forget the views for a minute. Now, there was a time when I weren't on YouTube. I was focused so heavily on TikTok, I was just pumping out videos. But if we go, try to keep it all consistent. I'll go one more frame in. Right, it was not the views, it's how consistent it is. 19 hours ago, that video. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5, 6, 8, 8, 8, 8, 8, 9, 10, 10, 11, 13, And then obviously, then after that, 14 is 2 weeks ago, and that's why I say 2 weeks ago. But then we got 2 weeks ago, 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 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So it's literally at least a video a day, and realistically more because I think I put out more videos on TikTok than I do on YouTube. Um, but the consistency's been there, you know. I'm not someone that is lazy. I don't miss moments to try and help people if I can. Blinking, I'm going too God mental. So and that's my main profile. And like TikTok, I'm not going to bother looking at that now, but there's loads because sometimes I do things with the camera out, all sorts. So it's a little bit different, but sometimes the same. But I've also got another channel which I've also got on TikTok, but I don't, you know, I play with the TikTok one sometimes. I can't be bothered. So if we go over here, so for instance, I've got my professional side that's focusing on healing people, sharing my journey, my spirituality, things like that. Educational, really. Self empowerment. Ways for me to help beyond my books. That's really what that is. And I found like a niche for that. I enjoy doing it, but I don't get anywhere. No views. If we go video diary, for instance, 3 views, no views, no views, 3, 5, 3. We do my talks ones, which I think are absolutely incredible. My talk series. I don't need people to recognize they're incredible. I know how good they are, otherwise I wouldn't create them. No views, no views, no views. One, no, one, 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 two, one, no, no. Does it make me feel that my work's inferior to anyone? No. No, I know how good it is. Just haven't had the audience. How could it possibly be rubbish if only one person's seen it? And that one person was probably me when I was checking something. Do you know what I mean? It's like you have to have an audience to decide to garner whether something's good or not, and I have to have like at least some sort of, what would you call it? Well, a certain amount, you know, before you can start saying whether something's good. So you at least need 1,000 people before you can say how many people really liked it. But a lot of people don't like my stuff anyway. Even if it challenges them and helps them heal, I would never get the recognition for it because I have it in my personal life where I might have a situation, an altercation, or something happens, and I see the growth after. But I would never get a world. No one will ever say, "Oh, that you instigated that." It's like, no, no, of course I didn't, because you definitely weren't doing anything before that situation. And again, I'm not trying to boost an ego here. It's just an awareness. I don't get recognition, never have. So I get recognition from self. Like I said, I already know these are great. So I don't wait for the recognition for others. It's just frustrating. It's not helping people where it should. That's where the frustration is. Otherwise, there's no point in me creating it, you know. Um, so my Star is Born series is really about like the signs I'm getting about my future and the breakthroughs that are coming. And I'm going to share a little bit of this in a minute. Haven't seen the videos that are coming up in a minute because I'm going to share a little bit of my For You page through TikTok on the computer. But I don't know if it's going to be similar synchronicities I get on my phone, but it's intense. But it's easier for me to share it through the computer because the way it's all set up is a lot easier. So we'll see what happens with that. Maybe there'll be synchronicities, maybe there won't. I'm intrigued. So rather than share ones I've favorited, this will be clearly just For You page. And then I've got my other channel that I just have so much fun creating. This I don't care. It can get no views for the rest of its whole existence. It can just be one subscriber. The one subscriber is my other account because, you know, I think it's important I see the notification, see it's all working. So literally, that's just me. I'm the only one following me on that one. Again, it's just it's like the story of my life, you know. I beat to my own drum. I don't wait around for people to acknowledge me or recognize anything. And I paved my own path anyway, so I'm finding my own company. I think that's pretty much that's showing. But anyway, so we got the professional side here, and I thought it was just really important to sort of come up with some sort of way to segregate the content. So then I go over to my fun side, my gaming, my media collection, like my Blu-rays, my movies, my VHS, cassettes, vinyl, all sorts. So started off with gaming, but the reason I called it TV is because I didn't want it just to be gaming. I knew I was going to be talking about my video collection, my music, and all sorts of things because I like physical media. And I thought if I just make it gaming, then it's just going to be a waste of time in terms of the fact that it locks me in. So I did this other one where I called it News and Topics. It was me just like off the cusp, just talking. So the other ones are more like focused on actual gameplay of me playing games. And then I was just like talking about certain things. And then it started going different ways, like me emulating on my handheld gaming device. I was doing my emulators and things, and thought it might help people to see that, and they can do something similar. Of course, you know, it actually has helped someone. I got a couple of likes, to be totally honest, and the views have gone decent on some of them. well, decent. When I say decent, it's just better than one. It is what it is. And then I just created this new series called Physical Media. Now, that's come off of the ones I was creating on TikTok. So I was creating a lot of videos on TikTok recently about the things I've been searching and looking up. And again, that's more for me than other people. I suppose anybody's got an interest in watching an hour-long video on me looking and scouring for things to buy. But I thought I'm looking at it, I might as well record me doing it. I could sit there on my own, or I might as well just record. And I record it, and then I think later on when I look back, I might sit and watch it myself because why not? Um, what's entertained one person may not be to someone else, but then it might be to someone. So, and there's quite a few of them videos left to do. To be totally honest, I've got about 7, but I'm trying to space them out because they're already done. So soon this whole playlist will be filled because the video's already there, just waiting for me to make them public. So yeah, and I enjoy doing the little covers. I try and make it fun, but I try to make it as easy as I can for myself because I'm busy. You know, I'm creating my content for TikTok. I'm putting them on my YouTube channel. I still have my book to do. Still have the audio book to record. I'm toying with the idea of making some of these videos, not this side of things, the professional side, back onto the podcast. But again, this is all things I'm toying with. Where do I really want to put my time and energy? But there's always a lull period, a period where I'm just chilling, and I'm thinking if I'm chilling, I might as well press record, and that's where this channel sort of comes into, and I really like it. It's like my place to get away from the stress of life and the seriousness of it all. So I take that side serious, then I have my fun side. So if we just do this one, look, so we got buying Ghostbusters, for instance. We've got this one. What's this one? Oh, I was looking up a load of films on this one. This one's my cassette deck. So anyway, I'm just talking randomly about the things I'm buying on my collection, really, because like I said, Michael's an incredibly rare film. John Travolta. It's actually hard to source it because you write Michael, for instance, into the search bar, and there's a lot of films referencing Michael, whether it's an actor, whether it's like Michael Flatley, Lord of the Dance, anything with the name Michael in it becomes hard. So, so what it's doing really is it's helping people collect, and I know it will. You know, so when people say, let's say someone thinks, oh, I might start collecting old videos like VHS. And it's like maybe they don't know how to go about it. And you're seeing me put my effort in the search, the way I'm doing my search terms, the things I'm sort of looking for. And then because for instance, if I was because I am collecting, if I saw content like that, I would want to watch. So although the audience isn't there today, it doesn't mean it won't be there in the future. And even if it's not, again, I'm searching anyway. I might as well press record. It's not hurting me. It's literally just the camera's there, and I'll just talk while I'm doing it. It's no skin off my back. And I think that's what I was kind of around at the beginning saying about, like, you know, when you do something enough, you just become a more of a experienced at it. So I'm good at explaining things. I'm good at narrating. I'm good at just talking and doing something. It's just fine. It's not a problem to me. Where some people are a bit mutable, you know, maybe they can't do that. They'd go all quiet while they're thinking, and it's like, well, I can think out loud. I can just do whatever. It's easy either way. I can think in silence, chill out, put some music on, listen to, you know, or just do it the other way. It's all fine. So I don't really care that things don't have views. I think other people probably find it more embarrassing than I do because I don't find it embarrassing. I just think algorithms just don't seem to work for me at the moment. I'm not. It's like I get signs, and this is where I'm going to push my spiritual side in a minute. I get signs I'm hidden in plain sight, and I can't think of any other explanation as to why someone can literally not be seen. It just makes sense. It's just I can't do anything. It's like Harry Potter when he puts the invisibility cloak over him and you can't see him. Maybe you can hear him a little bit, but you don't really know he's there. And I think that's the same shit with me. It's like it's a cloak over me, and people may come across something, but they'll gloss over it, and it's just I can't even get traction. So me talking now, I might as well just be talking to the wall because I know no one's really getting through, or unless someone's supposed to get through, then they will see it. Um, but yeah, there was something else I was going to talk about, but I might just do it in a separate video, and that's about specific content creation. Yeah, I'll probably do that in a separate video because otherwise I'm just going to go on and no one's really going to see it anyway. So there's no point. So what we'll do here is, I think share a little bit actually, because when you follow people on YouTube, I like it. I love YouTube. I had a long period where I wouldn't even bother with it. Now it's like you pick selective people that you really like, so you can subscribe. Now I don't just subscribe to every little video I see and I like it. It's like, does the person have a presence? Do they have a way of, um, like a persona? And you're thinking, I like their content. I like the way they carry themselves. It's professional. I like it. I'm going to follow them. So I don't just follow every little person, every video I see. I think that's crazy. So you better be selective. So effectively, when I go on my homepage, of course, I watch a lot of gaming stuff. That's really predominantly because I don't have to look up other things because I innately am aware myself of certain things of life. So that's why I speak on it because I'm an expert at it. It's not something I normally say, but yeah, I'm an expert at it. So I don't need to educate myself from, I guess, other philosophers or other speakers and things. It's like that's just what I do. So the other side is I want to relax. What's the latest news in the gaming industry and things? That's a good way for me to chill out. It's a way for me to get away from the seriousness of life. Um, so what's really cool here, I just noticed, is because I'm on my main account, not on my gaming account. Um, my little logos come up here, and I think when I look at it amongst everybody else's, I think it looks cool. It looks cool. I don't know if you're noticing it. It's the second one in. We've got all these ones, and there I am in the middle, and I like that. I like that. My lighting could be a bit better, I think, on my camera. There's certain things that can improve, of course, but I'm limited by my circumstances and things. You can only do what you can do. Um, so what I do with my covers, just to point it out a little bit, is I do it in a way that I don't have to update it often. So some of these people, you'll see their faces are constantly changing. The amount of photos they must have to take, and these stupid things where they're going like this with their hands. So I can't be doing that shit. I don't like dramatics. So for me personally, it will be a very static thumbnail, like the image, and I will just change the texts. So it might not be that obvious here that how different it is, but I haven't got the time or the patience or the interest to create some dramatic cover every time. It's just not in my interest. But I think for the bare minimum, when you're on YouTube, for instance, it's about standing out and being a bit professional. So if you create content and you don't create covers, I think it really looks poor. It looks poor. I think I've got one actually where I haven't. I think it's one where I did my microphone recently. Yeah, that one. I don't know if you can see that. Now, I don't mind the odd one, like something like that. I haven't got a cover series for it that I know of. I might have. I might be able to do something. But out of all of them, it just looks a bit rubbish. The others, you've got an idea. So, for instance, what I like is it segregates the content. So, if someone wants to go on videos and they're not spiritual, for instance, you can miss all the spiritual ones because you know it's all the blue ones. So, if you're interested more about healing and personal development and boundaries and things, you'd go on the talk series. And I think that's what I like. I segregated the content. But like I say, this channel is serious. So, the covers are serious, very professional, I'd say. And then we go to my gaming one, and they're very different. So I've got my tongue hanging out in the middle of this one. Let me see them ones. I like them. But that's my other side, I'm not so serious all the time. I'm focused, is what I would say. I'm not serious, I'm focused. So I thought that as well. I thought most people would be fortunate, I think, to have the capacity and the consistency to just even create the content I do for this channel. And yeah, I'm bouncing between the two, effortless. I'll create the content for the serious side, and I'll also be equally putting the same passion and effort into this side. And this channel is just going to grow with content. It may never grow with subscribers. I don't anticipate any growth in that sense. But the videos will always improve because I enjoy what I do, and it'll be me talking or sharing. It could be games. It could be my video games. It could be, it could be it could be the music. It could be anything and everything. So, for instance, if we go on, well, I'm on the wrong account, and I can't really show it, but there's videos recently where I've got another one coming up where we're showing the. Actually, I can show it on here. It's this one. I've put this on YouTube. I haven't released it on YouTube yet, but it's available when I press publish, public. Just skip that. I don't want any copyright issues, to be honest. So that was me just showing off the things that I recently bought in the other videos, where I'm showing the things I was looking on eBay, and this is some of the things arriving. And there'll be more videos in that vein later with things kept turning up, and I like it, even if again no one else does, I do. And I thought I'd share the video because maybe people don't realise what VHS would look like on a bigger screen. So I've got a 60-inch TV, so So VHS has its issues a little bit. Like mine, for instance, sometimes it does this machine gun noise, and it's absolutely mental. But I think and this is the trouble with mechanical things like a VCR. Um, like recently, it's tried chewing a couple of videos, and I was like, "Oh, you're having a laugh." I forgot about that. So I need to now do some research into how to clean and potentially repair VCRs, because not being funny, I don't want to keep buying a VCR, and I love my one. I've had it since I was a teenager. I just kept it. It was in a box for ages. So it's bound to get dust, and I just want to be able to maintain it myself, and I like to be self-sufficient. So I'm going to look and find out how you maintain these. I know you can get a head cleaner tape, but there might be a better way of doing it where you can actually just take the cover off or something. And if you know what you're looking for, I can maintain that. But I wanted to show people the quality, really. So, of course, it doesn't look as good as a DVD or a Blu-ray, but the way I feel when I watch it is it's like feeling like I'm in the cinema back in childhood. And that's honestly how it feels. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. What you'll notice, we might not notice in the video, but when it's live, of course, the sound is it's mono. I think it's mono, at least, even if it's not. I mean, it says stereo there, but it definitely isn't as vibrant as DVD and Blu-ray. But I think it's cool. So I'm sharing the experience of buying, searching, and then it arriving. And I like all that. So recently on my TikTok, for instance, I've been sharing a lot of it where you're seeing my collection, really. And I'm trying to transfer that over to YouTube, but hoping it doesn't have any copyright strikes. But we'll see, because I definitely want to start moving things around now where I start elevating my content a bit more. But again, it's just following my passions. I don't do it for any other reason, really. It's just, it'd be nice if it helps people, inspires people. Because I'd like to inspire people as well, to be honest, to not only respect physical media in the past in that sense, but maybe even start collecting themselves to preserve these things. That'd be nice to have a positive influence like that, where people just start to appreciate having tangible things and literally holding a piece of history. And you can even be making your history. So anything that's even present now, in 10 years' time, it's history, isn't it? So if I can have an influence on people by sharing my passion for it, I think that's a great thing to do. And that's what I'm hoping to do through this channel, really, and all of it. Even when I'm doing my emulator for my gaming, it's preserving the games from the past. Yeah, I think it's good. So even if it's always one subscriber, that's fine. YouTube's always been a slow burner for me, because I've got my other gaming channel that I made years ago. But I focused on my other side now, but writing my books and things like that, and it's far more rewarding, far more prestigious to do the books, for instance. But I did have a gaming channel that I created, and I still own the web domain to it, Inside PC Gaming. And that's something I was took very serious for a good few years, to be totally honest. But I barely saw the growth. Again, there's barely any views and things. Took years to get that. It really did, and I was like really committed to it as well. But again, that just showed that was me putting something into my passions. But because this one's a bit more, the new one I've created, this was more like a serious trying to create some sort of franchise, a brand, really. But I was like, I wasn't really clear on what I wanted. Did you want a brand, or did you want it to be about you with your interests? At the time, I thought I wanted the brand. Now it's like, let's just make it light. There's no rules. You can just create, and it's just put it out there. And it'd be nice with all the playlists, because I think that's when the page looks nice. When you start anything, you make your little playlist, there's big gaps, and the gaps, to be honest, it just makes it look empty, doesn't it? But once we filled these playlists in, which will be done very soon, once I press, well, literally, there's about 5 more videos to come out, and I'll just press publish, make that public. But I don't want to just release 7 videos at once. I think that's just stupid. If not, that makes any difference, because it's only 1 or no views anyway. So normally you'd say, I don't want to post too much because it affects the views and it might confuse people. There's no one to be confused. So I might just throw them all out, because I'm getting just to clear it up. and I'm intending to record some games soon. I haven't decided which ones, but I did think that the other day. I thought I might have a look. So this extended play series is me playing either the full game or at least like a portion of it, up to about an hour. But I know people have like short attention spans, so I did a highlights one as well. So like maybe if I do it for an hour, I'll trim it down to maybe 10 minutes or less. If I've done, like, for instance, that the Call of Duty, that's the entire campaign, Call of Duty 4, and it's 4 hours and 36 minutes. So I literally called it over about 3 sessions, and then I went into a software and then I just merged them together and then just pumped it out as the whole campaign, because effectively that's what it is. And then I trimmed the whole campaign in story, from the beginning to the end, and I made it into less than 10 minutes in the highlights. So again, if someone wants to see the entire thing and they're nostalgic, they can. If they just want to see the campaign quickly and briefly, you can do that there. And I think that's something to do. But it is time consuming. It is time consuming. So it's annoying. I think when you put a lot of time into something, that's when you get a bit frustrated. Like, for instance, me creating a highlights video based off that. That's a lot of effort for me. That's took a good few hours, because you're literally having to sift through 4 hours worth of work. Now, innately, you know roughly what the scenes were, so maybe you're not watching the whole thing entirely, but you're still watching huge segments, and then you've got to find the right bit to cut, and then you've got to put it all together. Then you've got to think, is it still too long? Do I need this bit? And it's just a whole process, and you do all that for one view, and that view is probably just me, and it's like, I don't know. And it's just, like I said, some people just get everything handed to them. It's ridiculous. Someone could create half the content and it's not even as good. I'm not saying it isn't good, but let's say it's not as good. And they still just get loads of attention on it. And it's crazy to me. It's like, this is mad. There's nothing, some of us, there's just nothing you can do. I could create a channel for literally everything. I could do a colouring channel. I mean, I could even do that, actually. I like to follow my passions and hobbies. I like colouring, actually. I haven't done it in a little bit, but I think there's a niche for everybody, to follow your passions. And it's kind of like, it'd be nice if you can just put everything in one channel. But I just think sometimes it can water down the message. That was my concern. It wasn't that it might confuse people. It just might hide the content I really want people to see. So obviously me following some interests and hobbies, it might garner interest from other people who have similar passions, or it might make someone gravitate to something that maybe they didn't realize was fun. But then I wouldn't want to lose something that's really healing to someone for those purposes. So yeah, I think there's an avenue for everyone. That's got me thinking a little bit, because I don't want multiple channels. I don't mind having two, but I don't want millions. But I do like colouring and things, and I think little bits of art like that could be good content, really. But I think that's something for everyone to think about. There's always going to be a niche, so you could create. There's no reason for people not to create. And I think that a lot. If you're doing something and you're passionate about it, then share it. I say that to my nephew all the time. He plays video games all the time. Like, he's obsessed with them. And I am to an extent. I am sometimes to an extent, but I haven't done anything for like a week now, I think. Or at least it feels a week. But I said, if you're going to play it to the extent you are, you might as well just record yourself. It's just a waste otherwise. All that time and effort for nothing. If you record it, at least you might grow. You might get some growth from it. You never know what opportunities come, But if you don't record it, there's nothing to show for it. It's a bit of I just think it's a waste. So again, if you like I said about colouring, if you're into art or anything, it's like, why not just share it? There might be someone that's interested in it. You just get used to it. That's the thing. Effectively, you're allowing yourself the opportunity to just build a better life, and then you end up taking your hobbies more seriously. And then I just think you grow and evolve. So, for instance, if it's something as simple as colouring, why not just record it? It's not just colouring, is it? If you're passionate about it, record that. People get attracted to things, You may just be lucky enough to get that one subscriber. No, so most people wouldn't. Most people, you could do the same as me and you'll get a load of followers. That's the crazy part. And I have no doubt about that. If this was someone else creating this, it would have gone through the roof, but I can't seem to get anywhere. So I'll show a little bit here. No, I might do it in a video, actually, my For You page. Might do a video later, because we've done like half an hour in now, me just waffling about the struggles of my profile. Yeah, I'm going to do a separate video, I think.